Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities and Miniatures. Today we've got the new Goblin Wolf Riders from Northstar Miniatures. I was going to say Oathmark, but that's the game that they're for. They are from Northstar Miniatures and with Oxford Games. So if you haven't been paying attention, Northstar has been slowly but steadily churning out all kinds of cool and interesting plastic hits, and I think this is the very first Cavalry set that they've done. Now, they've done plenty of non-humans across both Ghost Archipelago and Frostgrave, and they've even got the regular goblins for Oathmark, but this is the first Cavalry, like I said. So in the box, we are going to get 15 wolves and 15 goblins. Not bad, especially when you consider how much Cavalry models tend to cost. That really isn't a bad deal. Okay, so let's see what we got here. So I'm pretty sure all the sprues are going to be the same. Yeah, okay. And they're all over the floor now. So we have 3 different wolf poses. And looking at them, they're all labeled 1, 2, and 3. Upside down, obviously. But I think we're not going to be able to mix and match parts on these. I think you're going to have those set 3 poses. So just be aware of that. But size-wise, they're pretty good-looking sized wolves. I know a common complaint is that the size of Oathmark's models is towards the smaller end of the scale. But, I mean, look, that's a pretty decent-sized wolf, I'd say. Heck, let's grab, like, a modern GW. Even with a nice-sized dwarf model here, he's still a good-sized wolf. So that's a good thing. That's a good indicator. Let's see. We've got regular-sized cavalry bases for everybody included. And then here is the goblin sprue. Now, sadly, I don't own any of the foot infantry goblin models anymore. I had to level with you. I wasn't a fan. I thought they were too small, and it was before a lot of the other Oathmark stuff had been acquired by me, so I really didn't have anything else in that scale, and the aesthetic, and I've said this before about some of the other Oathmark hits, was much more in line with the kind of traditional fantasy Tolkien type stuff. Very universal appeal and usage versus, the hyper-specific Warhammer Age of Sigmar type stuff that we see these days. But just looking at it, so we have 3 of these sprues, and it looks like we're going to have just about everything we need, just like the regular Oathmark kit. So you've got enough spears for everybody right here. Here's all your legs, and they all actually are different, so that's kind of cool. If you were concerned about, there's only 3 wolf poses, well, there's 5 sets of legs, so I think you're going to get a lot of usage out of that. There are enough bow and arrows for all of your riders. We got a couple of the arrows in hand scattered around, and then we have an assortment of hand weapons. That's a big sword for a goblin. I'm not sure what these tails are for here. I'm assuming they might be for the helmets, but maybe not. I don't know. The wolves had tails. Yeah, okay, they got the tails, so I'm not sure what those are. We'll figure it out. How many heads do we got? So we've got 5 shields, various types of... Let's see if I can get that a little bit closer there. Various types of mail, so all 5 of the torsos are different. I'm wondering... Well, wait, no. The Oathmark bodies are all top and bottom attached, so where else could we get some usage out of these? I wonder if these would work with some of the knoll bodies, because some of the knolls, I believe, had the torsos separate than the legs. Okay, let's take a look at the heads. One of the nice things about these models is you get a nice selection of heads. Looks like 10 different heads, 5 with helmets, 5 without. Not a bad deal. Yeah, unfortunately there's no extras floating around there. Oh, no, I take that back. You get 11. Gotta have a boss head, right? You have a standard for the pole here, and I guess the skull is supposed to attach to that. So other than these tails, or tufts of fur, that I'm not sure where they go yet. I'm sure after building them I'll figure it out. It looks like a pretty solid kit. You got just about everything you need. So if you wanted to have ranged cavalry, you know, by all means, you've got the gear for it right here. You want 15 wolf archers, you could do it. You know, you have enough, you could do, you know, 5 of each type. Spears, blades, and ranged. And I think that'd be great for like a dragon rampant or vanguard or just about any skirmish system, really. I can't knock Northstar's value with these kits. You get a lot of bang for your buck, and absolutely this stuff is going to be compatible with their other plastic ranges. I'll see if I can smash something together, but definitely I'm going to build a couple of these and we'll take a good look at them, okay? So just hold on one sec. Alright, we put a few of our Wolf Riders together. And a couple things I would like to go over with you guys so you do not make the same mistakes I do. First of all, they sit pretty high up on the actual wolf. If you are like me and trying to be all smart about things and building your models prior to gluing them down to the wolves, be aware that their heads need to be sitting almost completely perpendicular to the wolf's head, or else they're kind of just like gazing down at the ground or the fur, or you have really extreme examples like this poor guy. Yeah, mistakes were made. Maybe his wolf is bucking around and not really enjoying having a stinky goblin riding on top of him. I did figure out what those tails were for. They're actually top knots that go on the helmet. There's actually a little indentation on the bottom, and it is sticking on the top of the helmet. All of the helmets end in points, so you could keep them as an option. You could keep them off, or, you know, you do have the option of having non-helmeted versions as well. And obviously they don't have their shields yet because it's going to be a real pain to paint, and we're just going to save those for the end. So overall, like I said, other than making sure that you don't have them looking like they're going to be getting hurled off of the wolf, I gotta say the options are pretty nice. You have everything you need in terms of ranged or close combat or spears. And to be honest, they feel pretty big and bulky. I don't remember. I don't own any of the Oathmark goblins. Like I said, I wasn't a big fan of them. I didn't enjoy their proportions, and they had like a bit too much of a Tolkien vibe going on, and I just wasn't enjoying it that much. I'll be honest, I like old school Kev Adams style goblins. Like these guys. These are the Heartbreaker ones that Impact put out after they got the molds for it. Really, really nice. But yeah, that's more my style goblin, but, you know, size-wise, here, let me see, I think I have, yeah. No, somewhere I have one that's not glued on. Ah, here we go. So you can see here, size-wise, they're a little bit bigger. Obviously, they actually have legs, unlike the GW ones, or Heartbreaker to be specific. But the proportions are a lot thinner too. I'm sure they could fit in, but they just, you know, they don't have the same look. They're definitely going to be a lot bigger than the Night Goblins. If you want to go Gloom Spite gets even the old ones like this guy. So, something to keep in mind. However, I gotta say, the wolves really are a nice looking kit. They're pretty simple, nowhere near as bad as the old ones from GW, but they get the job done. I think if you really wanted to keep the wolves completely separate from the riders, it's totally doable. I don't know if that's the most economically smart way to go about doing things. You only get 15 wolves for, you know, 20-something, $30. It might be cheaper at that point. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm rambling to myself. Maybe it might be better to get some of the bone stuff. Or, you know, this might be a viable option after all. Especially if you have a local store's discount or something like that, or if you order in bulk. Grabbing the most modern equivalent and only Wolf Rider I own. So you can see the new GW ones from Warhammer Underworlds are obviously a bit longer in terms of body length. Obviously, he has his tail out. His whole body is kind of, you know, loping forward. Using our friend who's a little bit more bunched up there. I guess size-wise, maybe if we had him on a larger base, they might be able to, you know, blend in better at that point. Just for the sheer random curiosity of it all. Well, it's definitely bigger than the Ice Fang or whatever they're called. Mornfang? No. Saber-tooth tiger. I don't remember what they're called. Anyway, so I think if you just need generic, non-system specific goblins, I think these are a nice option. You get plenty of them in a box. I mean, heck, even for, you know, Kings of War, I know they're not going to match the Mantic ones. The Mantic ones are almost like a mix between, you know, Night Goblins and these guys, but hey, you know, if you need yourself some reasonably priced cavalry, especially if you want all the options, this might be a way to go. So, do take a look, and hopefully this will be the first of many more cavalry units to come for Oathmark. Again, all this stuff, since it's made by Northstar and it's made in conjunction with Osprey, it's totally compatible with all their other lines. I did have some goblins, I don't know what I did with them now that I was kitbashing with dwarf parts for whatever reason to do some stuff with Frostgrave, but now I can't find them, so I'll have to show them off on Instagram or something once I have them turn up. But definitely, yeah, they're a nice little kit. You can see here in terms of size, matches up fairly well. These arms are totally compatible if you wanted to put the arms of the goblins on the Frostgrave guys or vice versa. It's totally doable. So our Oathmark guy marches out to fight them all single-handedly. Anyway, fun little kit, and I'm certain that we will be seeing more of them in the future painted up on this channel. So hopefully you guys are going to get started on yours too. With that said, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, and thanks for watching. And we'll see you back here soon. Bye-bye.